Hello everyone! Welcome to this month's ASMR stream. We're going back to Lushfoil Photography Sim after last time just chatting, because there's only one more location we haven't been, and it seems like a shame not to visit it, you know? How are y'all doing? Let me pour myself some tea. Whose theme was this again? This is Trixie Royschmer. Or Roymer? I'm not sure. But certainly Trixie. Do you think this last location will be the supermarket and you can go get some foil? I think the word Lushfoil is a metaphor for leaves, which are all around this game. We've been surrounded by Lushfoil the entire time, Space Chunk. I had a very busy last few days with a different stressful thing each day, so relaxing with some very chill stream on is something I've been looking forward to all day. Aww. Well, I'll try to make it a good one. It's raining outside, and I have a book and some chocolates, and now a very nice stream to watch as well. Lovely Tuesday. That's delightful. Can we buy some leaves? They're free. The leaves are free. They're on the ground. You can get them. You know? It's also, these days is the cherry blossom times, you know? I saw a cherry blossom tree the other day, and it was so beautiful. The tree itself, and also all the petals coming off. I pick a leaf off the ground and I eat it. Okay, that's nice. Nutrition. Fiber, I think. Seeing the cherry blossoms and the buds on the trees is giving me a new lease on life. Isn't that just the way? I love spring. Spring is absolutely my favorite season. It's so beautiful. It's so... well, like you said, it gives you a new lease on life, you know? It's, not to say that winter and fall don't have their merits, but personally, there's something really special about all the barren trees starting to grow in the new leaves and all the grass turning greener, you know? When they say that the grass is always greener on the other side, I think they're just talking about the other side of the seasons, you know? But yes, I don't have too much to talk about here off the bat. We can talk about plenty while we're taking photographs. So let me just get on to the redeems right now. And then we can launch the game and keep talking. So, thank you very much to Esteemed Jester, Arterial Red, Space Junk Zero, Lucina of Stardust, Gnome Event, Dr. Rudy G. Numpad, Epic Boy 6, KQ Gray, Time to Fry, Sequar, Walnut Coated, Ghosty Gummy, Hi Noel, Lucky MX13, James Moore 92, Bunshines, Hi Mike. Thank you all for the starting eggs. Just okay. Nothing for you all to worry about though, just something on the streamer layout side of things. And now we'll launch the game. Spring rain is always super pleasant in my opinion. I agree, it makes the air smell so nice. If you've never, it's easy not to like the rain, and I've mentioned this many times during this very specific ASMR series, in fact, but it's easy to you know, not want to be out into the rain at all, but when it's raining and it's not, the wind isn't blowing too hard, take an umbrella and go for a walk through the rain. It's so nice, it's one of my favorite things. We got another egg, Mecha Fox Girl. Thank you for finishing the first egg stack. Watched a tiny human child catch a falling cherry blossom on their tongue on Sunday. Then they panicked when it didn't melt, but it was cute as fuck at first. Is that really a thing that happened? That's adorable. That is so cute. Hold on, let me tell my Google Home to play rain noises. Well, it's possible that the next place we'll go to in-game will have rain all of its own. It'll certainly have some very nice ambience, because that's something this game is very good at. As a matter of fact, let me phase out our little music and just listen to the sounds of the game. There we go. I really need to get some patio furniture for my balcony so I can, like, sit outside when it rains. Yeah, me too. It's especially nice. Well, I live in an apartment building, which isn't especially nice, but it means that above my balcony is another balcony that blocks the rain. And as such, I can be on my balcony when it's raining without fear of getting wet. So I also need to get some better furniture. I've got some plastic lawn chairs. They're not too special. They're pretty poor quality, so I'd like to get something better. That tea is definitely still too warm. Petrichor is a good smell. Also, wow, don't you know some fancy words? Right, so, the last location that we haven't been to yet. Well, apparently there is one more for getting all of those spooky, scary portals. If you weren't here a couple ASMR streams ago, which at this point is like back in 2025, we found a scary portal in one of these locations. I think it was... I want to say it was this one. Regardless, it was a scary portal that made some pretty unnerving noises and really messed with the delightfully calm and quiet ASMR vibe that we've got set up. Interesting as it was, I kind of decided that in future streams we would try to avoid those if we came across them, just to maintain the vibe. And I suppose to maintain a mystery for you all to find if you play this game on your own. And, you know, maybe something for myself to do off-stream. That aside, last time we explored East Madden Park in northern England. And now we're going to go to Shengshan Island in China. Seeing my PNG move a little too much. I think Discord is picking up some computer background noise. Just a moment. Turning this up a bit. Should be good. And just then, an ambulance drives past in real life. Not perfect, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'll also say, ooh, a dark cloud. Um, I'll also say sorry to everybody who's watching this live and will have to deal with Twitch ads, unless, of course, you have some way to circumvent them. And I'm not saying, oh, you should subscribe to me, though that is certainly a way, but I've heard tell on, on the grapevine, on the wind, that there are alternative methods of ridding yourself of ads. Though you won't hear any more of that from me. Anyway, we're here at some ruins, it looks like. If you're afraid of missing pathways, try tracing the walkable boundary of the area. That way you can't miss anything. I guess that's true. So if you've not seen this game before, it really is as simple, well, mostly just as simple as just a game where you walk around and take photographs of nice places. And I love it. There's some collectibles to find to give you a little bit of a little bit of an objective, and I do enjoy that. But for the most part, you just take as many photos as you want. Wait, what was the North England Park? I missed the name, but that's where I am. Really? Madden Park? This one, East Madden Park? And also welcome, Amir Ardflag. It's been a little bit since I've played, so I might have to get into... Ooh. How do I... There we go. Can we get the light back? I'd like to get a shot of this building with a little bit more light. Here comes the sun. There it is, it worked. Very nice. So there was a little question mark here. Seems there's something on this. Oh, a lantern. Oh, I love this. If there's one thing I like in higher fidelity games, because anyone familiar with the channel will know that I am very much a lover of retro aesthetics. You know, anyone who's seen any other stream where I'm not using a PNG knows this. But one thing I really like about higher fidelity games is when you have a light source to play around with. I suppose I also like it in real life, so that makes sense. Now those stairs leading upwards certainly look exciting, but let's follow the track the game has set for us for a little bit. Let's see, how do you... Right, that's how you crouch down. I'm still upset because Mega Man Legends is one of those N64 games people charge out the ass for. I know. I very much agree with you there. That's like, if I could only acquire one other Nintendo 64 game, if I could just acquire one, well, I mean, the PlayStation 1 versions are better, of course, but it would still be nice to own the Nintendo 64 version. It was the version I played originally So I've got a little bit of a soft spot for it, even if I'm aware of its inferiority. I don't really collect disc-based media, I like collecting the cards. I kinda get it. Cartridges are more fun than discs. Ooh, can we go in here? Yes, we can. Look at this. This is so cute. Are the locations in this game totally fictional then? No, they're not. I imagine that they're not 100% accurate to their real-life counterparts, but they are all real locations. And yes, cartridges are easier to display, I agree. And they're also just kind of more fun to use, you know? I mean, compare, you've gotta... If I have to change a PlayStation disc, I have to press a button to get the disc tray to come out, then I take out the disc, then I get the disc case, and I open it, and I put the disc in, and then I put the disc case, I close it and put it away, and then I grab a different disc case, and I take the disc out, and I put it in the tray, and then I close the tray. And with a cartridge, you just pull out the cartridge, and then in your other hand, you're holding the other cartridge, and you put it in. And then you put the first cartridge away. It's easy, you know? I can't find East Madden Park by name in North England, at least. Maybe I'm missing something? Maybe. I was quite certain that these were all real places. I'm sad that cards went out of style. I get the discs are more efficient, but there's just such a charm to cards. Yeah, that's one thing I'll give Nintendo, is they stuck to the cartridges. Though their cartridges got so small. They're less fun now. Oh, you're a collectible? That's nice, but I'd like to take your photograph first, man. Because this is a charming little shot. So collectibles in this level are simply jars, I suppose. Ooh. How do I... There we go. There we go. They did discs for just a little while, but at least they were small and cute for the GameCube. They were small and cute. I agree. But why did they decide to do that? And why were the cases still so big? You open up the case and there's just such a tiny little disc in there. You could have given them a tiny little case. It would have been cute, you know? Also, Zero Elec, thank you for your egg, which starts the second egg stack. Hi boss, thanks for taking photos. You're welcome. Just doing my part. Ooh. Waiting. There we go. Okay. I have over 80 amiibo. That's a lot. Is that every amiibo? It's kind of silly that Nintendo is still making amiibo to me because I tend to forget they exist. Even though I do have four on my desk. I have Kirby, Samus, Dark Samus, and Orange Inkling. Oblique Omen, hi. Thank you for your egg. It sure would be nice if this game didn't mute when you alt-tab. Saint Laurel, thank you as well. I see amiibo all the time in the second-hand game exchange shop nearby. They have whole shelves of them. Yeah, they're kind of, you know, not to be mean to any collectors or anything, absolutely not, but they have kind of gone out of fashion. So I imagine a lot of people are selling them because they don't really use them anymore. I feel, in my recollection, that they never had a use as interesting as they did in Smash Brothers. You know, of like training your own CPU fighter, you know? Which is a really neat feature. And I can't really think of any other instance of the amiibos being used for something as cool as that. Usually just to give you some items. Maybe chat with the NPC, you know? Yeah, they're still making them. I know that, I believe Fire Emblem games tend to get amiibos every time one of them gets announced. Monster Hunter Rise got a couple, although that's a while ago at this point. I assume Zelda Echoes of Wisdom got a Zelda amiibo? Considering the previous game with that style, the Link's Awakening remake, had an amiibo. I do have that one. I think that one might be in my display case. But yes, they were very much made for Smash Brothers, and could also be used for other things, I suppose. But it really feels like that was more of an afterthought. It's certainly better, I think, than... Or, well... Yeah, maybe. I think it might be better than, you know, than Skylanders or Disney Infinity, where they could only be used with this one specific game franchise, and not outside of it, at least with Amiibo. A lot of games tend to accept any amiibo and they'll do something, you know? Like I believe in Breath of the Wild, if you used any non-Zelda amiibo, you would just get some items out of it, you know? I only own 3 amiibos, Pac-Man, Shovel Knight, and my favorite, Rob the Robot. I have Shovel Knight and Rob. Shovel Knight was very much to, you know, be like, wow, that's an indie game, this is amazing. And Rob is because I love Rob. Oh yes, and using amiibos in Animal Crossing to get little Animal Crossing versions of the villagers. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, by the way, because thinking about Animal Crossing, I thought about um, when you add Link to Animal Crossing, he's Twilight Princess Wolf Link, if I remember correctly. In any case, I know that you can. I really want the Twilight Princess Wolf Link and Amiibo and Midna Amiibo actually. I think if I were to get one more Amiibo, it would definitely have to be that one. I love Twilight Princess, it's my favorite Zelda game, and I've been waiting. Oh, interesting fork in the road. Let's go to this more open place after I take a little photo. I've been waiting for years to stream Twilight Princess, since it's my favorite. But I was always thinking, well, Wind Waker has a Linkle mod, Breath of the Wild has a Linkle mod, Ocarina of Time has a bunch of female player character mods. Surely it won't take too long for Twilight Princess to get one, right? And it took a while, but we're finally here. There's finally a fully fledged Linkle mod, changing the the pronouns and the voice clips and everything. So next week I'm gonna start playing Twilight Princess. I'm very excited about that because I love it so much. I have quite a, oh look, there's a little flag in the distance there. I have quite a history with Twilight Princess. I love its world, and I've explored it very thoroughly. Because, and I'm not going to specify because we'll play it on stream and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen the game yet, but is going to watch me play it. Basically, when I first played it in high school, I got to a specific dungeon where I had to do something that I found to be very scary and nerve-wracking. And so I couldn't do it. I just couldn't focus on it. I was too scared and I kept failing. And so I left the dungeon and I said, I'll come back. I'll come back later. Let me do some side content first. So I did a lot of side content. And occasionally I'd come back. We unlocked the drone. Alright, everybody be prepared. There's gonna be a bit of a somewhat unpleasant sound when this drone is flying. I'll stop flying. There we go. I sometimes go back to that temple and I try again and I just couldn't do it. Too scared. I was just too scared. And so I would go back and do more side content and maybe put the game down for a while. And come back to it again and walk around some more and go to this one town that's cute and talk to the animals in Wolfform and whatnot for 6 long years. For 6 years I wouldn't continue that dungeon. I just couldn't do it. And eventually I got a friend to beat that part, and then I kept playing, and then I beat the game. After 6 years. So, I'm very excited to go back and hopefully not have that same problem. But yeah, it's a game that I have I've experienced in an interesting way, you know? Usually there's a little bit more urgency to a game like that, but for 6 years I just sort of treated it like a city I'd visit now and then, you know? I haven't been to this neighborhood in a while. I wonder what's new here. And I wouldn't even try the dungeon. So it'll be very interesting to go back to it. I really wanted to replay Twilight Princess anyway. I haven't since HD came out. I'll be playing the HD version. I don't know why I didn't buy the HD version when it came out. I really should have. I should have bought it with the amiibo, like I want it now, you know? But yes, we'll be playing the HD version with the Linko mod. And it's great, because there's gonna be a lot of Yuri stuff as a result. Even more so than many other Zelda games, I feel. My experience took a while, but that was more due to my mom's half an hour per day limit on game playing back then. That's fair. I wonder, what... I feel like I played Twilight Princess on a TV that I got in my own room. You know, we had a big TV downstairs, and, you know, in the living room, and when my parents decided to buy a new one, I got to have the old one. My sister was in college, so she didn't live here. And it was a really big, chunky TV, which didn't really fit very well in my room, so we built like a platform for it that extended from one of the closets. Or not closet, cupboards or drawers. And it was, you know, looking back of it, on it, it was quite a funny hodgepodge of a bedroom. My bed was on stilts. And so there was a bunch of stuff under it. All the closet and the drawers were handmade by my father. And then we had this strange triangular platform extending from one of them. Upon there was a really big VRC TV. And later on, or maybe around the same time, I suppose, I got a pet bunny, Dusty, who some of you might... Oh, we've been here before. Guess we're going in a circle. Oh, I can go down here. Who some of you might know as the bunny that sits upon Fennec Queen's head. That's Dusty. That's I immortalized him as a little scrappy mech pilot. So I had Dusty, and I loved Dusty so much and didn't want him to have to sit out in the cold during the winter and such. Of course, during spring and summer he'd be outside, running around on the grass and everything. But during fall and winter, I'd bring him to my room. And of course, I wasn't going to let him sit in a small cage. That's no good for a rabbit, especially not that size. It was quite big. So, interesting building. So we made a little paddock for him. Half my bedroom was given to Dusty to run around in. Put some wood down underneath it, and what's the funny thing is that the pillar upon which rested the platform that held the TV was inside his paddock. It was a very interesting side in hindsight. It was a gradual thing for me, you know, a boiling the frog type of scenario. And only now looking back do I think, wow, my bedroom was pretty wacky. I wonder if I have any photos of that somewhere. Cute Fugi, thank you. I thought it'd be fitting to have something like this for ASMR streams, you know? My friend Rose drew it, currently visiting Japan. Oh, there's stairs down. There's a lot of paths in this location. You know, Dusty, being Fennec Queen's mech pilot best friend isn't even the first time that ooh, ooh, what's that? So twinklies in the air. It's not even the first time that I, based a character on my pet bunny. Back in college, we at one point had to do world conceptualization and concept art and such. And so I made one about a world of anthropomorphic animals having fantasy adventures. And the protagonist was a bunny, not too dissimilar from Dusty, with a big sword. I made a, in hindsight, pretty shitty little animation rig, but I was still learning, you know. But I do think I gave that character a name, but it wasn't Dusty. So the Dusty we have now is a more immediate immortalization. When you're gonna explain anything to Fennec Queen, by the way, in due time. It'll come. I feel a little bad, but it's more fun. It'll be more fun this way, trust me. This is very relaxing so far. I'm glad. I should hope it is. What else am I doing this for? Well, I'm doing it for my voice. Of course, that's important. That is the main reason I started doing it. As voice training. Oh, we found one of the jars, or pots, or perhaps vessels. Vase? No, not really a vase, I don't think. Gosh, there's so much to see in this place. What are these little particles in the air? They're certainly coming from the sea. Are they tiny bits of foam? Sea foam? Is this a cave? It is a cave. How exciting. Well, though it isn't very deep. It's okay. Is this the same game you played when there was the singularity? Yes, it was. That was a couple streams ago, a couple ASMR streams ago, and it was certainly very interesting, but it was also very disruptive. So I vowed to ignore such things in the future. It's just not the vibe, you know? Did you explain anything to QQ, or was she too busy playing video games for over a week straight? She seemed content to just be here. It didn't seem necessary to explain much to her. So no, I have not. I suppose when I finally explain things to Fennec Queen, I can explain things to her as well. if need be. One thing that's kind of funny is that my ASMR streams tend to get more views than most of my streams when uploaded to YouTube, presumably and unsurprisingly because they are ASMR streams, and as such, I imagine there's a lot of people that just kind of have autoplay on, you know? And they just get my streams put in front of them or something. Or who knows, maybe there are some of you who rewatched ASMR streams a lot because they're so relaxing. But in any case, I'd like to imagine that they also get seen by people who don't know my channel and are really confused when I start talking about Fenna Queen or Quarry Queen or anything like that, you know? I was gonna say because of the Foogie. That's allowed. My dream is to one day have a house, already dreaming big, where I can just have a room for just video games, like Angry Video Game Nerd's basement. I don't think I'd want that, personally speaking. It's a nice dream, but I think I'd prefer to keep my various forms of entertainment involving the TV in the same place, you know? Just in the living room. I don't really want to have to go into a... Oh, penguins! Hello? Okay, bye-bye. Aww. How cute. That was delightful. Well, let's quick explain all the lore to the VOD heads. The lore is once upon a time, I was a video game character that achieved sentience, and my video game was unfinished, so I started making some stuff, and then some different versions of me started showing up for no reason, and we're streaming, and you guys control little robots that I made, cute little robots, and sometimes I do ASMR. Also, let me just go back. I feel like I didn't explore everything thoroughly enough in here. There might be another path to take. Or maybe the penguins are back. No. That's okay. I would like a gaming room, especially for VR reasons. Alright, yes, if I had the means, I would definitely 100% want to have a room in my house that is wholly dedicated to VR. On the one hand, it makes it my executive dysfunction as would not enjoy having another step to take before being able to play VR, considering it's already an extra a lot of steps of putting on all these trackers and whatnot. But if I could have a big room with no unnecessary furniture in it, and the cables being wired up in such a way that the headset extends from the ceiling, so I don't have to worry about getting tangled in the cable or anything like that, or the cable getting tangled in itself. And I have a lot of space, like, let's say 4 to 5 by 4 to 5 meters. That would be wonderful. I would do so many more VR streams. I should do more VR streams in general, to be honest. Obviously, we have our monthly VR chat community hangout coming up this Saturday. But I should be doing more. Not even necessarily VR chat streams, just other VR games, you know? I've got one about exploring an island. That one seems pretty nice. I played a pirate-themed one for a bit recently. That one was kind of bad. I so badly want to be able to show off all my old games and game accessories and just have shelves and shelves of all the N64 games and NES games and displays for my amiibo and my ROM and my posters. I want a beautiful museum for the stuff I've been collecting. You have to buy a lot of display cases, you know? I've been to some video game museums, retro video game stuff. It's always very neat. Need to play more VR things for too much dust gathering on my headset lately. The dust has been pretty thoroughly removed from my headset recently thanks to acquiring the new full body trackers. Been messing around in VR chat a lot more. Using cool and awesome gender euphoria avatars and whatnot, you know? So that's good. I bought a new controller because my left controller had been showing up. Showing up? Why did I say it like that? Broke. My left controller has been acting up. That's the word I was looking for. So unfortunately I had to dip into my savings and get a new one, but the savings have been built up with the help of subscribers. Thank you. So it's okay, I could afford it. I haven't tried it out yet though. It arrived today, this very morning. And then I put it on the charger and then I completely forgot about it because my friend Jacqueline / Lantern, with whom I did a recent Mario Kart Double Dash stream, she and I were testing a Mario Kart mod, which works for the most part, so that we might stream that in the future. And because we were busy with it for so long, I completely forgot to test VR. So I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow, or maybe after stream today. We'll see. Let's get a retro camera and drink some tea while we're at it. Cheers everyone, make sure to stay hydrated. I wish I could swallow water more quietly. I just want a new VR thing to come out already so I can have one that's more bearable to use. Yeah. I feel like I finally got my my headset adjusted in a way that's comfortable for me to wear for longer periods of time. But then every time I've got someone coming over who wants to play VR, they adjust it to their head and then I have to readjust it afterwards, and it tends to take a while before I've got it to all the straps and dials and such to the right configuration. It does feel like VR has been kind of dropped by most devs, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it's unsurprising. As genuinely cool as VR is, it's also unwieldy and definitely most of the time just a gimmick to make first-person shooter games a little different. People don't do that many truly interesting things with it, and it's extremely expensive. As you say, Saint Laurel. So it's just not a very safe market, unfortunately. Could try putting some sort of mark on the straps to indicate where you like to have it so it's easier to find when someone else adjusts it. That's not a bad idea. I might do that. Thanks. This isn't a path, is it? No. I really can... It's unsurprising that VR is almost exclusively first-person games. Because, well, you know, it's on your face, it's on your eyes. I can think of very few games that aren't just some form of first-person game. Usually first-person shooter. Sometimes first-person melee fighter, which of course I love, but doesn't tend to work super well in VR, unfortunately, since you don't have any actual tactile feedback. When you swing stuff, there's no real weight to anything, you know? Which of course is also the case for guns, but easier to ignore. Off the top of my head, I can only think of 2 VR games that aren't just simple first-person games. One of which is Moss, which is technically still first-person, as you do control some sort of entity that has a physical presence in the world to some degree. A ghostly one, but still. But it's the game where you also control a little mouse at the same time. Very cute. Can we go in here? No? Okay. Oops. The other is called Down the Rabbit Hole, I believe, which is an Alice in Wonderland inspired game, where it's a sort of 3D point-and-click adventure game, where you control Alice, or not Alice because it's a prequel. It's a weird thing. But you yourself are in the rabbit hole. That is to say, the walls of the rabbit hole have these tunnels in them, and that's where Alice, or again, not Alice, is. So you're physically like walking around just in place. You're just turning around in place to see the sides of the hole. But I'd say that's probably the best way that I've seen a VR game, not just be a first-person game. It's kind of cute because you keep going deeper down the hole the further you get in the game, you know? The only thing I think of a VR game in third person is Astrobot VR Mission. Yeah, that's kind of similar to Moss, I'd say. I'm thinking of getting into VR with the Steam frame this year, since it seems like it'll be most universally supported. That would make sense. I would like to get it, but it'd be super expensive, and like, I already have a functioning VR headset, so I should probably focus on other things. After all, Slime VR is releasing something later this year, new trackers that, oh, we get the paper airplane. New trackers that, can also be used with VTubing to have full body tracking while VTubing. Also, I'm so sorry everyone who's in the ad right now. I didn't see it coming, so I forgot to warn you all. Sorry. Okay, if I throw them too high up, then they don't. Okay. These paper airplanes aren't flying very well. At all. Oops. Oh well. We don't have a price tag for Steam Frame yet. Excuse me. We don't have a price tag for Steam Frame yet, I assume, right? Not yet. Makes sense. Given the state of tech right now, I fear it's going to be painful. Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. Then again, does the Steam Frame run on its own graphics card, or does it use the computers? Because that does change things. Though not too much, of course. You know, it's been a while. We've been looking around this place for a while now, and we haven't found the photo board yet. So in all the previous occasions, and I'm sure the same is true here, we eventually stumbled upon a photo board with a set of photographs for us to mimic, copy, if you will. And when we did so, we'd get something special. So I wonder where the photo board is. I know it has standalone capabilities, so I would assume it has zone. I think that it makes sense. I've heard it's been hit hard by the RAM shortage, and they're delaying to later this year. I hope Gen AI dies soon. Also, welcome back from the break, everyone. I hope the ads weren't too disruptive. / I hope you had some way of circumventing them. But again, I won't recommend a specific tactic there. I don't want to get in trouble. Yawn, yawn, yawn. I'm quite certain we've walked this way before. So again, I really wonder. Oh, I specifically recognize this very specific place. This is where I wondered if this was a path. Gen AI die a million deaths, okay? Okay, please. Do it for me. I won't like you anymore, Gen AI, but I'll be happy. Okay, wait, this is the start. This is where it all began. Q John as always, thank you. And you're welcome. Have we been down this path before? certainly doesn't ring a bell. Never mind, yes it does. We've been up that path at least once, maybe twice. So where is the photo board? Oh, we're back at the beach. Maybe we can see the penguins again. Penguins, where are you? No. Unfortunately, they are not here yet. Trying to figure out what all these settings do. I don't really know. I bet my dad would know. He's got a fancy camera. By the way, has this game inspired you to take any pictures like IRL? Apologies if I've asked this already. I don't know if you have, so you're fine, and also you're fine either way, don't worry. I'd say it's kind of the opposite. I already liked taking photos in real life. And so when I saw that there was a game specifically about taking photographs, but in places that I myself haven't been to, so I could take photos in new places with a fancy camera that I don't have in real life, I was very excited about that. I certainly don't think that taking nature photos is like one of my greatest hobbies or anything, but I do like it very much. Taking photos is nice. I love nature, so taking photos of nature is nice. So no, I would not say that this game has inspired me to take more IRL photos. I was already doing that. Thank you for the question. Okay, we've been that way. I think we've been this way too. I think we came up this way. But have we been even further down? I don't think so. I don't think we've been here yet. Which is great news. Oh, an egg. NPC tendency, thank you very much for your egg. I'm playing Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights for retro achievements in life. This game was so lovingly made for a PS2 era licensed game. Sorry, you're playing a spooky, scary horror game while I'm doing my nice ASMR? Why are you giving yourself such whiplash? This would be a nice spot to chill in. I agree. Put down some chairs, you know. A little fire. Since it does look like it'd be kind of cold around this time of year. Judging by the weather and all that. You literally football tackle the spookies, it's not spooky scary horror. Well, so does Leon Kennedy, and I've seen the shit that happens in that game. It's pretty scary. The game is a built-in laugh track. Yeah, it's called Leon yes. I feel like we've pretty thoroughly explored this cave, except I'd like to take a photo of the water reflection dancing on the cave wall and ceiling. Is there anything better? Wow. My Blair Witch movie. Boss battles have fully voiced boss themes. Wait, that's very fun. I do like that. That's a very cute feature. I love it when I see that water effect under bridges on my walks. Right? It's so nice. So nice. Thank you. Yeah, the voice is nice because I do stuff like this. This is my voice training. Well, I mean, I've done a lot of other voice training, of course, but at this point, after getting just about everything I can out of regular voice training, I use these ASMR streams as a way to maintain my voice. Use it as a bit of a refresher, you know? That does sound really good, Space Chunk. I might have to check out a little boss fight compilation, which I used to do all the time when I was a kid. I would just, if I had an interest in a game, I would just look up the bosses. Not a trailer or a full playthrough or anything like that, or like the first 10 minutes of gameplay. I would just go look at the boss fights only. Belrog of the Ogre Claw, thank you very much for following. It's my first stream I've seen of you after following your socials. Well, welcome. Hope you like it. Oh, here we go. Here's the photo board. And by the looks of things, we already have probably at least 2 of these. Well, maybe I haven't taken this one close enough. This one should be good though. And we have this one, but from the other side. I still need to actively voice train more. Well, how about this? How about, and I don't know if this would work, it's just sort of a cute thing. What if during a stream like this, when you're going to send a message in chat, you speak it out loud to yourself first and try to do it with your most optimal voice. That'd be cute. That could help, maybe. I don't know. It's like we're having a conversation. The boss fights tend to feel like when the gang are doing the final chase in an episode, where you can't directly hurt the monster, but you can lure them into traps and stuff. Cute. I can't voice train, I'd lose my impeccable Kinger impression. I totally get that, Lucy. I can still do deep voices, which I won't do, of course, right now during this stream, but I can. But I cannot do my old voice. It's totally gone. Even when I try, I just can't do it. It's like I can do really deep voices, but I can't do just a more regular male type voice deepness, you know? It's pretty funny. And I used to sound like a jock. Very strange. So, let's see. Photos. Okay, apparently none of them counted. But we know where the cave is, and we can probably maybe find the flag again at some point. This will be easy to find, the little gate. This little broken wall will be a little bit tougher, and we'll just have to go into as many houses as we can to try to find this one. Being serious, I don't know, I kinda like my voice, or, well, how it sounds coming out of my mouth, so I never really felt the want/need to voice train. That's wonderful! I'm happy for you. I think it's great that you just feel comfortable with your voice, and aren't letting your perception of yourself be swayed by, you know, heteronormativity and such. Which I hope you'll accept coming from someone who tries very hard to be high femme. But that's just because I like it. The one down... Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh dear, what's happening now? Oh, the stream was struggling quite a bit there. That was scary, but things seem to be fine now. Spooky indeed. Is that a stork? The one downside of Night of 100 Frights is that being based on the old Scooby-Doo... Oh, it has a couple of the badly aged monsters. That's a shame. Oh, look. This is it. And that little chime lets us know we got one of the photographs we need. Going back to the voice stuff before the game went bleh away and other such noises. Your nice words are appreciated. I'm glad. I have a lot of reasons for wanting to have such a, you know, let's call it conventionally pretty voice. But one of them is a bit of a, well, they're all selfish ones, I suppose, but one of them feels a little bit more selfish than others. And it's that I think I can be a better flirt with a voice like this, you know? Sometimes you gotta let yourself be selfish. That's true. And so I do. I in recent times, the last half year or so, I've realized like, oh, I like being a little bit more flirtatious. And I can do it better with a voice like this, you know? That's a fun reason. Oh, I'm glad. I think so too. But it is a little bit selfish. Anyway, here's another photo spot, I do believe. There we go. And one of the collectibles. If I may, pick it up. There we go. 2 more. I wonder what the other version of this map will be. So when you get all of those photographs, you unlock a different version of the map. Usually anyway, not always. And it's usually a different season or different weather. So I'm very curious what we'll have this time. Ah, the cave's over there, so we can get one of the photos we need. It's your you. You can be as selfish as you want with yourself. I'm my me, and I get to choose the voice. And the voice I choose is this one. I'm moving awful slow. Oh, I see. I was going into walkies mode. As an NB, I can sound as I want, and like, yay, yay! I love that for you. Okay. Take this. There we go. So what do we have? Oops. What do we have left? Only 2 more. 2 that we found pretty early on in today's play session. So let me try to go back to that spot. I think it'll be easy if we go this way. That's nice. On the other side of the on the voice spectrum, I mentioned being able to do deep voices, and I can, as many of you know, but I won't do it right now, as all of you should understand. And it is extremely funny to pull out a deep voice around people who like don't hang out with me in situations where I do deep voices, like on stream or just sort of in like jokey friend hangouts, like with family, you know, or I don't know, my doctor, and they don't understand. They don't. What do you mean you can do both? You know, it's very funny. That's another reason why I want to perfect my high femme voice, is so that the deep voices, when I'm suddenly it's like I pretend to be Santa Claus or something, hits even harder, you know? And Akai 4, thank you for your egg. As well as your sippy. Cheers everyone, stay hydrated. And a stretchy. There we go. Number 6. Only one more collectible remaining. This isn't a path? No. The noises TM never get old. Good. Let's see. So, we need to get to a high point so we can take a photo of that flag. And I'm thinking it's this way. I may be a lesbian, I love girl noise. Well, you're in the right place. I've got lots of that. We are going this way. Look at that. Pretty sure we're nearing the flag. Or not. Did anyone remember where the photo board was? I fear we're not going to be able to find it very easily once we've got all the photos we need. How well can you guys hear the game audio anyway? The beautiful Foley work in this game is very important to enjoying it. And I would think to enjoying this stream. But maybe my voice is enough. Audio is good? Okay. It feels like it would be too quiet, but maybe that's just me. It's at a good volume. Okay then, I will trust you. Yes, and the place we have to go was overlooking the sea, but then again, a lot of this, these town ruins are. So we'll see. Also, I did spot the flag upon the horizon. It's about the same as your voice, a little lower. Oh, well, that's, I suppose, where I want it to be, so that works out then. I do know, actually, that these ASMR streams just have a lower audio than my other streams. Unsurprisingly, considering I'm talking a little bit more quietly than usual. Maybe I should turn up the audio overall to make it on par with my usual streams. Make it easier for you all to control the volume yourself, since it tends to be easier to turn volume down than up when watching a stream. Now, let's see. Okay. So it looks like we want to take the photo from a little bit of a distance, actually. bit over here-ish, maybe? That's probably not enough. No. Maybe we do have to be closer. I don't know how you would frame the flag so large in the photo otherwise. Maybe this will be enough. No. Hmm. How about... There we go. Great. Now, in 2 minutes... Oh dear, oh dear. Hold on just a moment. I hadn't changed the alarm sound. So let me just dismiss it right now. There. In about 2 minutes, it'll be time for the e-break. Yes, got your mother, exactly. So at that time, we'll take a 20 or so minute break, but I'm thinking maybe we postpone it until we find the photo board again. That should make it for a nice break moment between the 2 stream segments, right? Unless it takes really long to find it again, of course. Got your mother in a world. She's not sure if you're a boy or a girl. I think my mom's pretty sure at this point. I've made it abundantly clear. So it was definitely back next to a house. I think maybe like set a time of 5 to 10 minutes of looking and then go on break. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll try to retrace my steps. So I know that we have to go past the cave. And then up past a little broken wall that we photographed. But then what? Hot trap, I love you so. Yes, this is where we came from. Frame the ocean real nice. And then I am not sure where to go next. Well, let's go this way. Anyone else here have a trans awakening song? I know Zoe's, of course. What a fun question. I feel like it's been asked before in this community, but I don't care. We can talk about it again. I've certainly told my story often enough. And if not a trans awakening song, maybe just a song that you associate very strongly on a personal level with your transgender experience. Okay, yes, we walked past this building. I know the one for me, but I'm trying to find the name again. That's something you gotta commit to memory. You should be able to say that in, at the drop of a hat. Not to say that less of a hey you should have this and more of a it'd be fun if you have this. I'm not gonna revoke your transgender card if you don't know, of course. Blame It on the Girls by Mika. That is a cute name for. I don't know the song, but I immediately like that as the name of a transgender song. I think several tracks from the self-titled album of She, Her, Hers did quite a lot to help sort things out. Again, name-wise, that makes sense. Are we in the wrong spot right now? No, okay, we're going down to the beach. I think, yes. And then there was that spot that was so nice. Or did we come from this side? I think we came from this side actually, so we gotta go back. I can't honestly think of any songs that I associate with my trans identity, which I feel a bit sad about. You don't have to feel sad about it. It's not a requirement to, have music that you associate very heavily with it. It's okay. You have your own experience. It's fine. But it's never too late to find some songs if you do want some. Unsure of trans awakening song, but trans identity reinforcement, endless possibilities from Sonic. Yes, yep, extremely. That was very much for me, that wasn't a trans awakening song per se. It was part of it. It was an egg cracker part. It put another dent in my egg. Okay, we should be almost there. It was a song that made me want to be freer and be more myself, even if I was still pretty far off from figuring out what that meant for me, Near Such Far by Death Cab for Cutie. What a good name for a musical artist, band, whatever. But unfortunately, one I don't know. Again, we do have a music channel in our Discord if some of you all who are in there, or who want to be in there, want to share these songs. I think it'd be very cute. Anyway, let's get this key. And now, we can go into this creepy, dilapidated house and get killed by a monster. This looks ominous as shit. No, it was darker inside. Go, become darker. There you go. Okay. Oh. We start off in the cave. Wow. It's evening, the sky is cleared up. This is nice. So, once the break is over, we'll go explore this place in a whole new way. It had lines in it like, I see you flickering in doubt. I won't let you to be the one I live without. And I read that as me talking to the part of me that's a girl. That's very good, St. Laurel. I like that very much. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna do my ester gel. I will, I'll do it right now. I'll get you guys a nice little tune. Some nice background noise. What's the good one again? Let me just get it for you all. Floating, that's it. Here we go. This should keep you all occupied, give you some nice sounds while I'm away. There you go. So yes, if you have any medicine you have to do, please remember to do so. Also, remember to stay hydrated and stretch your leggies, maybe get some sniggies. Or just doze off and fall asleep if that's what you're doing right now. Well, no, do remember to take your medicine if you have to. Don't forget to do that. But the other stuff is optional this time. So, I'll be back in 20 or so minutes with more photography sim. See you soon! Hello everyone and welcome back. Sorry the break took a while. It happens. But I'm back now. Let me do a little bump on the socials. There. And put it here too. And here. There we go. And welcome to the Discord Gnome event. And thank you for your egg, 910, and best friend Church as well, and Polar Stars. And also, Polar Stars, thank you for the sippy. Oops, oh, sorry everyone. Oh, I hope I didn't just wake anyone up. Thank you, Polar Stars, for the sippy. This is a great opportunity for me to pour myself a new cup of tea. Okay, trying really hard not to hit my mic arm again. There we go. Good. So, if you're just joining us, we're playing Lushfoil Photography Sim, taking some nice photos, and talking about whatever. While I practice my voice. So, we were talking about gender stuff before, such as, what kind of voice are you looking? Do you want to have? Do you do voice training? what kind of songs do you associate personally with being transgender? But I was also thinking, what might be a nice question is, what's your ideal gender expression? That's a cute question to me. In the meantime, in game, we just finished taking all the photos we needed to unlock this new version of this location, where it's evening and the clouds have parted somewhat. And so presumably there will be a new photo board out here for us to copy the photos of, imitate them, if you will. And I believe usually I believe sometimes it's in a new spot and sometimes it's in a different spot. So since I don't really know, let's just, actually I want to go this way. I'm going to see what's over here. I was thinking we should just go back to the one where the place where the photo spot was before and see if it's still there. Wish I knew what my gender expression was. Girl with armor and a big sword. That's good, that's fun. I feel like my entire gender expression could be tied back to like early version of 2D from Gorillaz. I love that. I think that's really fun. I like early 2D a lot, so I think that's a wonderful form of gender expression.
Egg.
Ultimate Banana Boy, thank you for your egg. As for my own gender expression, I don't really want to say. It's not necessarily a secret or anything, but I'm just a little bit curious. I don't know. It's pretty specific, it's pretty out there. I just don't feel like saying it. But I do wonder if people know. I'm sure a lot of people know parts of it. Especially anyone who's been watching my streams for, I don't know, like a week or two. I talk about my various gender stuff pretty frequently. But the full specificity is something that I don't want to say out loud just yet. I also really associate with mech and robot stuff as part of my trans identity. Fuck yes. Hell yes. That's what it's all about. So the photo board is not here, evidently. So let's try to find it somewhere else. And, you know, in case it wasn't fully clear yet, I think a lot of my audience will get it, but when I say, like, your ideal gender expression, I don't mean, like, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a boy. I'm talking, like, out there stuff, you know? I want to be a cool lizard. I want to, just be like a face on a computer screen. I want to, be a cat, etc., you know? It's gender, it counts as gender. I don't know if it counts as gender. Yeah, it will. But envisioning myself as some kind of beast running across distant open fields and deep forests, Just the freedom of that would be something. I personally think that absolutely counts as gender. And that is a beautiful dream. I'm afraid I don't follow. I think girl is pretty intrinsic to it for me. Oh, it can be. Sorry, it can be, of course, but I'm saying it's not limited to that, you know? It goes, if girl is an intrinsic part of the gender to you, and it is to me as well, then yes, of course. But I'm saying you don't have to limit yourself to that. In that case, big galactic mech knight with huge sword that eats galaxies. That seems like it would be kind of a hassle. But I support you. I don't want a job, I want to run. Yeah. Don't want a job, just want to sit, lie down in sunbeam. You know? What's that? There's a comic. Well, the comic is... Oh, there's the photo board. There's a comic based on a post, and that's been going around a little bit recently. Only 3 of them. That's not very many at all. And it's something like, it's about someone working at an American supermarket where they have to put the groceries in the bags, which is a crazy job to have. Okay, I certainly know where these 2 are. Don't know about this last one though. And they fuck it up, and they knock over the stuff onto the ground, and she says like, "Oh no, I'm not supposed to do this," or something of that sort. And then the customer says like, "Well, how are you supposed to do it then?" And then the supervisor comes up and says, "No, they mean that they aren't supposed to do this. They were supposed to be a fox running through the underbrush and catching mice and shit, but something went wrong along the way and they get stuck here." And that's pretty relatable. I feel like a lot of us can relate to that. Maybe not a fox specifically, but something of the sort. I like how your accent shifted only for a moment to say the word American. Did it? That's very funny. I didn't even realize. Oh my gosh. That is a very strong sun. I'm gonna take a picture of God. No, the cloud's blocking the sun. Okay. I do have a funny little accent because I'm not American, but I definitely have a mostly American accent, but not fully, Sometimes there's a little bit more like England English in there, and sometimes there's even something a little bit more Dutch. I can't always stop myself from saying some Dutch words here and there. Which I think is pretty funny. I've caught myself, like, when I'm, like, kinda heated about stuff, I'll say nee instead of no, which is, the Dutch word for no. Have you lived in those places? No, I have not. I've never lived anywhere but the Netherlands. I've been to France a lot, and I've been to England a couple times. Well, I've been to England twice, and Scotland once, I believe. But I've never been to America. It's just that so much of the world's media and the internet and stuff is very specifically American, so you pick up the accent, you know? I mean, if I was living in England, it probably wouldn't happen as much, but I live in the Netherlands, where people don't speak English all the time, so that, you know, I don't pick up the Dutch English accent, which does exist, by the way, and where it is not a stream where I try to be as comforting and cozy and such as possible, then I would bust out the Dutch accent because it sounds very funny. Once during a manic episode, I told my friend in no uncertainty I have the burning hot potential of 1,000 suns and I am forced to drive a delivery van, to which their response was, that too can be gender. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, you know, the common perception of gender is whether you are a, you know, whether you are male, female, or neither. But, you know, gender is your self-expression, who you feel that you are, you know? Certainly, whether you are male, female, or neither, or whatever, or something in between, or both, is part of it. But it's not everything. I'm off for my walk. I shall return soon. Don't shout. No caps lock in chat during ASMR streams, but enjoy. Enjoy your walk. I don't want those little leaves in front in view. Oh. There we go. So, what photos do we have to make? Keep pressing the wrong button there. Right, so there's a little bit of water on the very right edge of the area. There's a little overlook point, very nice, and then there is some part of a building, but I don't know what it is. Or where it is, rather. We also are still missing a singular collectible on this map. I don't think the collectibles change between versions. No. Oops. No, no, no. There we go. Did not want to switch between versions. Can we go down there? And can we go over there? Certainly looks like we'd be able to. Hello, God. Just flashbanged myself. Hi, Val. How are you? Oh, look. There it is. There's the last collectible. It's a nice PNG, right? I like it very much. Lots of people seem to like it very much. We got the last collectible, but did anything happen? Oh. I don't know. Chillin' about starting putting my PC and desk back together. Chillin', about to start putting my PC and desk back together. Okay. Good luck. Sorry, that's a very stilted response. I'm sorry. But I hope it goes well. Val, what's your ideal gender expression? Which is what we were talking about. And also, Chet was talking about gender awakening songs earlier, but what about songs that feel more like you now, so to speak? Well, I have a playlist of robot songs, either songs specifically about robots or songs that I simply associate with robots. I'm thinking about Digital Dreams, I believe it's called, by The Midnight. How do you dream when you're just a machine, imagining colors you can't see? Mine? Thing. Concept. Haven't nailed down anything specific, but I think maybe that's part of it. We'll see. To be something non-specific, unknowable, can't be pinned down. That's pretty good. I like that too. That, in some way, that's kind of the purest form of an a non-conventional gender expression, you know? Okay, so let me see again. I believe these two are actually quite close together. So let's start making our way around. I do feel a kinship with machines, though, to some degree. Just not strong enough to call it that. I'm more mechanic than machine. I'm very much the opposite. But I can see that. That's very much in line with what I know about you, Val. But would you see yourself having, like, some augmentations? Not to be a full machine, but to be a little bit more of a cyborg. Perhaps so you can be better at your job as a mechanic. Also, Val is chill as fuck. Everybody follow Val. Breakbeat bun. Stop being chill from the ASMR. Go follow my friend. Subliminal messaging in your dreams because you fell asleep to my melodious, calm, nice, soft voice. Also, stay hydrated. Let's stick high for now, since that lookout point we want was pretty high up, I believe. Oh, hello. A digital camera. Oh, I love this one. It is in fact very much like my first camera when I was little. You know, I always thought I'd eventually move up to having a really fancy one like you usually use in this game. But then, you know, smartphones happened. Staying hydrated in style with my Pocari Sweat TM. What is that? Not really, I don't know. Even though what I have is a little pained and weary, I think I'd only want to replace or augment what fully fails, I guess. Even on the things I surface, I don't like to replace stuff unless it really needs to go. I'm too sentimental, I guess. That's sweet. That's very cute, Val. And that's probably honestly a very good mindset to have for a mechanic to not just like want to replace things too easily. Oh, right, so take a photo of this. There we go. Pocari Sweet TM is an electrolyte drink from Japan. Lemon lime flavored and very refreshing. I highly recommend. I'll have to ask my friend Rose, who's in Japan right now, to bring me some. I specifically asked them to bring me volume 4 of Puella Magi Tart Magica, which is the Madoka Magica spin-off that's about Joan of Arc, because the 4th volume is fucking impossible to find. And even though I know that if they find me a volume it'll be in Japanese, at least I'll fucking have it, you know? I got all the other volumes, got 1, 2, 3, and 5, but 4, you just cannot get for some reason. I don't know why. I want a big mech arm for punching. I also want a big mech arm for, well, I want, you know, the whole body to be mechanical, but I definitely want an emphasis on the arms for punching, naturally speaking. Like, oh my god, I still have cracked head bolts from the first time I did a head gasket on my car, just in all my boxes of unpacked trinkets. I don't know what a head bolt is, or head gasket either, but this is why you're the mechanic and I'm just the robot. I get other people to fix me up. Boss, I got into another gacha game. Help, I am self-destructive. Stop! Stop getting into gacha games. Which one is it? Can't be the queen without your gauntlets. Exactly. I see made in Germany stamped on an old clutch disc, and like, I know it's old and useless, but it came all this way. Val! That's so cute. That's so sweet. I love that mindset. That's so nice. New to city of Final Fantasy. It's got Final Fantasy characters and cute outfits. You can find Final Fantasy characters and cute outfits just anywhere on the internet. It's fine. You can probably find them in VR chat. Brickbeat Punk gets all the robo girlies swooning. And non-robo girlies. Wow! She truly does it all. Wait, is that your pronoun still? Please tell me. Okay, so now we just need to find that house. Okay. I will try to remember. Let's see. I imagine we might have to get into a building, but I'm not sure. Oh, no. We can definitely see the sky from the building, so it wouldn't be too packed between a bunch of other ones. Unrelated, boss. Mechanically speaking, how in-depth is the photo taking in this? Can you adjust ISO, shutter speed? Oh yeah. I am blocking it, unfortunately. Let me just... Oopsie. No, it would... Well, basically, you can adjust shutter speed, ISO, whether you use flash or not, contrast, brightness, WK, what kind of lens you're using, filters, all kinds of shit. You can do a lot. if you're a real freak for photography, you'll get your fix in this. Like I said, thing slash concept. I'm not strictly any, but whatever you feel is closest, you know? I like to see how other folks feel. Well, I feel that I kind of jump to she, her too easily with a lot of folks. So I'm more concerned with what you like rather than what I feel, because I just jump to she, her regardless a lot of the time. I did kind of come to see what the photography was about. I don't mean to make chat all about me. No, that's okay. It's nice to have you chatting. We don't talk a lot. I was honestly thinking recently, like, oh, I should chat it up with Val again. It's been too long. I don't do as much with all of the camera settings, but you can do a lot. I mostly just fuck around with the brightness and contrast and stuff. I'm exactly the same way. I should be better about it, but like, girl preference, girl brr. Yeah, but it's not good, you know? I mean, I'm not trying to say that we're like shitty about it, but you know, the default, unless you know for certain, should always be they, them, you know? You should, like, assuming that someone who's like genderqueer about it, like AMAP gender stuff, queer stuff, uses she, her is not good to do. So I want to try not to. We need a constant influx of people coming in to talk while everyone else gets so sleepy. Exactly, everybody's falling asleep, so I need more people. Otherwise I'll have no one to chat with, and I need to have people to chat with to train my voice. That's what this is all about still. You are all here in service of my melodious voice. The reason I'm assembling my desk is, right now, is I just moved, so I've been away from my quote-unquote office anyway. That makes sense. I hope the move went well. What if we just said fuck it and made it's the default for everyone? Just to see what that does to society. I like that. I think that's a very good idea. I think we should mix it up and make default assumption be fey, fair, or zay, zare. Also good. Just anything that's gonna really fuck with those people would be good. Melodious is an understatement. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Chet for y'all's contribution to my voice training. And I do kind of mean that, because not just these ASMR streams where I'm specifically focusing on my voice, but there's really something very helpful about having like 3 to 5 times a week where I spend several hours performing, so to speak, you know, being an entertainer, because it means that during those times I'm much more alert about how I sound, you know? So I often catch myself sounding different on stream than off stream. And that is to say better on stream a lot of the time. So if I didn't stream, if I didn't have an audience watching me, judging me, then I don't know if my voice would be as nice now as it is, you know? So thank you all. And also Zerielic, thank you for coming. Go feed your cats. Very important. They are starving. They are wasting away. You must feed your poor cats. Hold on, I have to go back and see what Vel said. This is the talking about Vel chapter of the stream after all. See, I'm a weird case. I refer to myself primarily with they, it. If a friend feels that she fits best, then it feels like something of an invitation almost. I don't know how to get into that all that in the Twitch channel. Interesting. That's fun. Well, maybe I'll keep using she for you. Who knows? And also, you'd agree, the voice is nice right now. Thank you. I was stream hopping to say hello to folks, but I think I might just settle in. Aw. Well, I'd be happy to help you, Val. I hope I can give you good background ambience while you struggle to put together an IKEA desk. I love your ASMR streams. Your voice is soothing to me. Okay, bye. Aw. You guys are so nice. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was talking earlier to stream that I have a cool new reason that I've discovered recently as to why I want to perfect my voice, and that's because I found out I really like flirting, and having a voice like this makes it even more enjoyable. But then you guys keep saying all this really nice stuff about me, and I can't help but go, "Aw, aw, thank you, aw," you know. It's so silly. Breakbeat bun desk assemblage ASMR. Soothing sounds of drills, hammers, and occasionally swears. I do like the idea that it would still all be ASMRified, you know? The drills would be slower and softer, all the swears would be whispered. But where is that one spot we need to photograph? Well, it's working. Keep this up. Okay. I will. Since you asked. We have to keep complimenting your cuteness, because I feel like if you weaponize that voice, you could kill the majority of your fan base with it. I've been told I'm pretty good at it. It all started on a 24-hour stream where I did it as a little bit of a bit, and then apparently later on, as it turned out, people were like very genuinely into it, let's say. And shortly after that, I fell for Noel, you know. Also, Val, you can't say the word straight here. You have to use an alternative. My funny stream bit. I fell in love with Noelle, and I was like, I have to start flirting with her, and I did, and she got all flustered, and I thought, wait, this is so much fun. And ever since then, I'm like, I have to get good at flirting. I have to weaponize my voice for this. Of course, I could only do it to her for a while, but then we broke up, and ever since then I've been preparing. I was there, sleep deprivation, silly times, ASMR incident, no survivors. Fucking, oh my god, I love to watch Adam Savage work on his little projects. It truly is drills and machines ASMR. What I'm doing is cable management and swearing. Okay, but the swearing is there as prophesized. I gotta say, I do get it. I don't watch a lot of ASMR stuff myself, but there is this one video that someone animated of Mecha Sonic being put together in like a big assembly machine, and it's like ASMR type shit, and yeah, that's good stuff. That's really nice. As a machine gender myself, I like that a lot. Flirting with a significant other is so much fun. It is. But there's also fun to just throwing out little flirtatious comments for the masses, you know? I mean, like, why should only one person get to enjoy it? I need to see it. I think probably if you go to YouTube and you search for Mechasonic um, ASMR, you would probably find it. Maybe ASMR Assembly Metal Sonic Assembly ASMR. But where is this one house we're looking for? Got it, thank you. You're welcome. Y'all can't post links in chat, so if you want to find it, you'll just have to look for it yourself. So I hope you remember once you wake up tomorrow, since I assume most of you are at this point too dozed off to do it yourselves. I think we're going away from all the houses now, so put it in Discord when I find it. Thank you. Taking this moment to remind you all to stay hydrated. Unsurprisingly, it had already been posted there by you. That's very funny and makes a lot of sense. Hey, what's that in the corner? Wait, oh my god, that's the little X's gizmo to show you like the XYZ axes in what is this made in? Unreal Engine, I think. That's very funny that that's still there in this screenshot. And interesting, because that means that these photos weren't even taken in-game, or, you know, during normal gameplay. No wonder some of them seem so hard to replicate accurately. Okay, surely one of these houses are what we're looking for. Have we even been this way yet? This is proving to be very difficult. Maybe this house? No, I don't think so. No. So I wonder if ASMR is something I could take up. I half tried it once on a typing stream, but I think I was just talking a little soft. Yeah, there is a little bit more to ASMR I found, although I'm in no way an expert. I might have a very nice voice for it, but I don't have specific equipment for it or anything. And a lot of people do ASMR where they do sort of a role play scenario or something. And that's not really what I'm doing. But I have found that there's a little bit more to sounding nice for an ASMR stream than just talking quieter. But yeah, maybe you could do it well. I mean, if you go back to my first ASMR stream, it's also a lot different than this. I wasn't as good at it yet. But you know, one thing I really don't like about ASMR myself, even though it's a staple of the genre, is tapping. All kinds of tactile little sounds. Grabbing a little piece of paper and crumpling it next to the microphone, and in between all your words you're tapping on the microphone or the desk. And you make sure to speak with as much saliva in your mouth as possible. I am not a fan. I can't avoid having a little bit of saliva in my own mouth, so there might be a little bit of, schmecky sounds now and then, but I try to avoid it because I don't like it. Oop. A bike was passing by, a motorbike. I can feel every tap. It's so frustrating. Exactly, right? If you just have a nice voice to listen to, like, not to toot my own horn, but like over here, it's nice. You have a nice voice, you maybe have some nice ambience like we have in the game right now. That's nice. But don't start tapping and crumpling and all kinds of other annoying sounds that... Because that's kind of the thing about it to me, is like, ASMR, good, in my opinion, good ASMR that I like, puts you in a situation, Like right now, we're all exploring this beach town together. So you can hear the wind, you can hear the waves, sometimes the leaves and such. You can hear me take photographs, and we're talking, and that's nice. But then you have other ASMR where they're just kind of sitting at a desk and they're ASMR showing you some card tricks they learned, I don't know, and they just keep tapping the microphone for no reason. Can you chill? I don't feel like I'm here right now. I don't feel immersed, But maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh, a little bit too opinionated. I'll try to calm down a little bit more. That is definitely something I found out when watching previous ASMR streams of mine, is that if I really start sharing my opinion on something, whether it's good or bad, I'll start talking a little too excitedly. And that's fine normally, but not in an ASMR stream. Okay. This last photograph is really well hidden. Wait, it's not on this building on the right, is it? Also, I'm sorry about the ad. I'm so sorry. I forgot to warn you guys, because I was too busy complaining about other ASMR. For me, it depends on what I'm after. ASMR talking makes me relaxed. ASMR noises make me all the fuck asleep. I see. Interesting. I think I fall asleep to voices more so than sounds, I think. Because let's say I'm very sleepy and I'm in my bed and I'm about to fall asleep, but I'm about to try and fall asleep, but I just want to watch one little video on my phone. So I pull up a little video. Not supposed to do this, obviously, but it still happens. And I'll find myself dozing off while the people in the video are talking. Doesn't matter if they're talking about... Oh, no, I'm supposed to stand here. Doesn't matter if they're talking about just talking about like a game or something, or they're doing a comedy skit. If there's people talking, I'm gonna fall asleep. So then I always have to cut off the video in the middle, and then once I've done that, and I put my phone away and I haven't done anything else, I'm no longer as ready to fall asleep as I was a moment ago when those people were talking. And then I always turn on a nice white noise generator, like the one I used during the break today. And that's what I fall asleep to. Although I tend to use rain sounds. Those are my favorite. Rain on a tent, rain while driving in a car at night, rain outside while also the occasional car drives by in the distance. That sort of thing, you know? I love ASMR that's a good voice and or the sound texture of an object, if that makes sense. Playing with a camera, talking about and demonstrating different kinds of reflex hammers. There's this one video of a person giving a massage to a rock that's oddly satisfying, and I don't know what that says about me. I like that though. That's fun. I like the specificity of, I like when there's a nice voice that's talking about something that they're doing. That's fun. It says you need a massage or a rock. You might need to be a rock that gets a massage. Oh, here it is. We found it. Hurrah! We found everything here. And now we get to go back there again and get something new, I believe. Oh, to be a river stone, sanded smooth by the current. That's beautiful. To have all your blemishes and mistakes washed away by the waves. Well, they're not waves. I guess they're still waves. Just small ones. Gentle ones. Though who says a big thing can still be gentle? Isn't it more beautiful when it is? Personally, I'd prefer a rock caressed by passing clowns. Clowns? I think I just said clowns. I'm gonna discard that thought, otherwise I'm gonna laugh. Personally, I prefer to be a rock caressed by passing clouds atop a snowy mountain. But you wouldn't really be caressed. Hate to burst your little fantasy bubble, but you wouldn't be caressed by clouds. You'd be covered in snow, wouldn't you? Thinking about the feeling of being in the beach water for a long time, then laying down on a bed and still feeling like you're floating on the calm waves. You guys are knocking it out of the park. That's very nice. I do actually want to feel that NPC tendency. I did not. I'm sorry, Lucky. You're right. You're right. Of course the clouds caress you. It's fine. They pass through the snow. It's okay. So right now I'm hoping to find the photo board again, where a reward may be waiting for us. Maybe. Not sure though. And if there is, then we get it, and that'll be nice. And if there isn't, then we're done. Oh, a little flag. Hello. Well, that's cute. Let's go from over here so we can frame it against the ocean. Let's see. Oh, I've been on the wrong brightness the entire time. Oopsies. It's fine though. It's a little evil looking. A little bit over here. Oops. And there we go. There. And so ends our photography adventure in Lushfoil Photography Sim. We've now been everywhere that doesn't require us going through a bunch of scary and disruptive portals, which we will not be doing during ASMR. If you want to see that stuff, you'll just have to do it for yourself. Which means you get to support the dev, which is nice. Now, thank you all so much for coming. I hope this ASMR was good for you. It seems that it was, depending on everybody's reactions. After this, I'll have to find some new ASMR games to stream, huh? Because it's easy to find games that are relaxing. You know, nice to play. But harder to find games that really lend itself well as the backdrop to several hours of calming content like this, you know? So if you guys have any recommendations, you know, you even like obscure indie games, this certainly is, feel free to shoot those my way. We have a channel for it in Discord, of course, but I won't spend too much time promoting myself like that. Thank you for the stream, it was super relaxing. Thank you for the stream. Knocked it out of the park again, boss, but softly, with a foam bat. I'm glad. As always, we won't be rating anyone because that would be disruptive. And again, that's not what we want during these streams. So I'll simply say, if you liked chatting with me, doing some calm little activity, I'll be back tomorrow, continuing a Japanese tea shop Lego build. So that'll be similar, but a little bit less soft-spoken. And now, thank you guys so much, and have a lovely rest of your day. Good night.